Welcome to Yaka Digital Network. Today, we're exploring how performing arts change over time. Listen to a modern Ugandan pop track. You hear heavy electronic beats, layered synthesizers, and digital effects designed to move you. But if you strip all of that away, underneath the studio polish, you will often find a familiar pulse. It is the exact same rhythm played on traditional acoustic instruments, like the adungu harp. The music your grandparents enjoyed in the village 60 years ago looks and sounds quite different from the music videos we watch on TV today, yet the underlying heartbeat remains the same. This shift in style does not mean our culture is being destroyed. Instead, it shows us that our music and dance are alive, constantly adapting to the world around them. To understand how we got here, we have to look at the pre-colonial era. Back then, art wasn't something you watched passively on a stage. It was communal, and it was lived by everyone. A dance had a specific job to do. It might be a prayer for rain during a dry season, or a rhythmic way for neighbors to settle a dispute and restore peace. As society changes, these art forms go through evolution, gradually developing and adjusting their shape to stay alive in new environments. Think of a traditional art form as a seed. As it sprouts and grows, it reacts to the changing weather and soil, and it absorbs new elements from its surroundings to stay strong. Those early traditional arts were perfectly suited for tight-knit village life. But as history brought new, intense pressures to Uganda, the shape of our music and dance had to respond. The first major wave of pressure arrived between the 1900s and the 1960s, with the colonial and missionary era. Formal schools and newly built churches brought Western musical ideas. They introduced structured choir singing and foreign instruments like the piano and acoustic guitar. These Western structures blended directly with local Ugandan rhythms and voices, creating a new sound that combined two very different worlds. This era also introduced the raised stage. For the first time, a physical barrier was placed between the people making the music and the people listening to it. That physical barrier created a lasting shift. Performing arts moved from an activity the whole community did together into a spectacle meant for an audience to sit and watch. The next major push came when large numbers of people began moving away from rural villages and into major cities. This shift to the city, or urbanization, changed everything. The dense life in places like Kampala created new routines and a need for different kinds of evening entertainment. The open village square was quickly replaced by indoor nightclubs and commercial concert halls, creating a new environment for artists to navigate. Then, modern technology arrived. With the invention of FM radio and eventually the internet, a musician could perform in one room and instantly reach listeners in Barara or even the United States. Because musicians now competed on a global scale, they had to hunt for the hit song. This pushed artists to write shorter, punchier tracks, designed to grab your attention quickly in a crowded digital feed. By combining city living with mass broadcasting, performing arts completed a massive transition, moving from a local, functional ritual into a vast commercial industry. It is easy to think that traditional art is perfectly pure, and that modern music is somehow corrupted, but that misses how art actually works. This table shows how the context has shifted. We've moved from the village square to the studio, and from an immediate community to a global audience. Tools shifted from organic drums to electronic instruments, and goals moved from ritual to commercial entertainment. We see the result in hybridity, the seamless blend of these two worlds, where a traditional harp is looped into a modern hip-hop beat. Contemporary art is the bridge. By packaging ancient traditions into modern formats, our culture survives and allows artists to generate an income in today's marketplace. When you listen to Ugandan music today, try to develop a critical ear and eye. Pay attention to the layers underneath the pop melodies. Ask yourself, even with digital beats, does the music still carry the authentic spirit and rhythmic integrity of a traditional dance like Baki Simba? You are an active curator of your culture. The choices you make, what you listen to, and what you share will decide how Ugandan arts sound for the next 50 years. Thank you for learning with Yaka Digital Network. For more interactive lessons and resources, be sure to visit our platform and check the link in the description. Embracing change keeps our music relevant, but holding on to our traditions ensures we never lose our identity. Be a guardian of the old and a creator of the new.